folks, HR Funk here with the first firearm that I ever personally owned. This is a Connecticut Valley Arms Kentucky pistol that I put together out of a kit when I was 13 years old. In fact, I finished the stock in my 7th grade wood class. This would have been circa 1978. Actually, if I remember right, I got a B on it, so I even got a pretty good grade. If you can imagine kids working on firearms parts in school back in those days, it wasn't really thought too much of. Today, I don't know if I'd recommend that to any of the youngsters that I know. In any regard, in the months that followed after I finished constructing this pistol, I spent hours and hours wandering through the woods behind my parents' home carrying this particular pistol and shooting random targets of opportunity. And really, I learned a lot about being a firearms owner, about being a shooter, and just being an outdoorsman while I was carrying this particular pistol with me wandering around through the woods. The only thing back in those days that I wished about this pistol is that it fired more than one shot. And I can remember looking in some of the catalogs that were available at the time that had black powder revolvers and kind of lusting after the different ones. My favorites were always the 1860 Colt Army and the 1858 Remington New Army. But as I got older and one thing led to another and other firearms purchases became, at least in my mind at the time, more important, all of the black powder revolvers kind of faded away, although I never completely forgot about them. About 3 weeks ago, my 51st birthday rolled around, and I decided, you know, I'm going to buy myself a birthday present this year. And I had been looking in the Cabela's catalogs and on the websites, and again, lusting for a cap and ball black powder revolver. And as it turned out, the 1858 Remington is the one that won out. I purchased one for my birthday present, and I'll show it to you here right now. And just that quick, here it is. This is my Pietta 1858 Remington New Model Army revolver, reproduction revolver. Now, as I understand it, there are a few dimensional differences between the Pietta and the authentic Remington revolver, but not enough for me to be concerned about. I'm not going to be using this for any kind of historical reenactments or anything like that. It's just going to be for fun for me to shoot and to enjoy the experience of what it must have been like to shoot these firearms or these cap and ball style revolvers way back in the day. My particular New Model Army is finished in Pietta's old silver finish, which looks a lot like satin nickel. I very much like the way it looks, and I have not fired it yet. What I'm going to do here in just a couple of moments is load it up, and we're going to run some ammunition through and see just how this revolver shoots. Now, this is going to be my first experience, even after all those years of wanting one of these kind of revolvers. This is going to be my first experience actually shooting one. Now, for the sake of brevity, I am not going to video record myself loading and cleaning and all that kind of thing. There are many, many videos out there from people far more knowledgeable than me about these kind of revolvers. My experience, or my video rather, is just going to cover my experience in shooting this revolver. So with that little bit of an introduction, I'm going to load up and we're going to start to sling some lead out of this old girl, and we'll see what kind of performance we get. Okay folks, I've got the New Model Army revolver all loaded up and ready to go. Just for reference purposes, I loaded all 6 chambers with triple FG GoX black powder. On top of that are Cabela's lubed 44 caliber wads, and it's all topped off with a Hornady 451 diameter pure lead round ball. By the way, this is not something you get in a hurry doing. It takes a little while to load this all up. We're touching it all off with CCI number 10 percussion caps. So here we go. Let's do some shooting, and we'll see what kind of accuracy we get from the revolver. I'm going to start out at 30 feet, firing at just a bullseye style target. I'm curious to see exactly where the sights are going to hit with this. By the way, when you see the target, it is just your typical bullseye style target. I'm going to be using a 6 o'clock hold, so the top of the front sight is going to be just touching the bottom of the black, and we'll see where the shots go. Let's get to it. I had a misfire. I'll have to try that one again on the second time through. another misfire. Looks like I may have a piece of a cap stuck down in there. Could be causing these misfires. Try the last chamber here. Yeah, I think that piece of cap down in there is causing this. I'm going to stop the video, clean that out, and we'll fire off these last few chambers. Okay, I got those pieces of cap cleaned out of here now. It took a couple of minutes. I've still got 3 cylinders that are loaded. So far, the accuracy is looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and try to squeeze off these last 3 shots. Hopefully we won't have any more trouble. Folks, I am surprised by this level of accuracy. This is kind of amazing. 4 out of those 6 shots all went into one hole. We've got 1 out just high and 1 out just low. Even with the problems I was having with the caps and having to stop the video, that is surprising accuracy. And it's basically right at point of aim. You remember I said that I was holding the front sight right at the bottom of the black. This is essentially hitting maybe just a little high, but not by very much. It's essentially point of aim, point of impact from 30 feet. I think I'm going to load up again. We're going to move on to a different target, and maybe we'll see if we can even top this before the video's done. Folks, before I completely leave the bullseye target, I'm going to try 6 more shots. This time I'm going to raise my point of aim to 6 o'clock in the 10 ring, and I just want to see what kind of group this pistol will shoot on that bullseye target when I'm really trying to keep them right in the center. Well, here we go again. And I'm not sure why I'm getting misfires this time. I'm going to have to stop, disassemble the revolver. Maybe I've got a piece of a cap in there again. I have to clean it out, then we'll start back up. Okay, folks, I couldn't see any obvious problems with those misfires. I took the cylinder out, I checked for pieces of cap, I couldn't find anything. So I put it all back together and we'll just try it again and see what happens. It would appear that caps getting down inside the lockwork are sort of an Achilles heel of this design, but accuracy certainly is not. Let's go take a look at that group dead center in the bullseye target. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a 6-shot, one-hole group dead center in the 10 and X ring of that target. I don't know that I could have done that with a center fire pistol, let alone a black powder cap and ball pistol with a design that first saw the light of day over a century and a half ago. That is amazing accuracy. Again, this is 30 grains of GoX Triple F black powder, a Hornady 451 diameter lead round ball, and a Cabela's wad, Cabela's lubricated wad, and it is shooting just amazingly. Okay folks, enough of the serious stuff. I'm going to do a little bit of shooting now the way this pistol was intended to be fired, one-handed at a human-sized target, and we'll see how this looks. Okay, other than another misfire, which only required a second strike on the cap, fired pretty well that time, and the accuracy is looking really good for one-handed, just basically picking up the front sight and squeezing off a shot. Okay folks, I'm going to try one more thing here before we're done. I've got a thumbtack in the target. I'm going to see if I can take it out with one of my 6 shots that I have loaded up so we can officially call this thing a tack driver. So here we go, this ought to be fun.
Hang on. Come back a little bit. Okay. Which? Go ahead. Lap it in. Now this time, you can't do it all up. There you go. Which one you going for?
Bottom.
Now again, you're gonna want this top to be level and in the center of that little hole. Just take it. Slow down. I think you're shooting high. Why don't you bring it? I shot high. So why don't you shoot toward the bottom of the piece of paper? Are you comfortable with the 45?
Yeah.
Do you want to try it? I think it would. I feel bad. I'd like you to try it, but it's more of a kick than that, and that one was giving you difficulty. So, you want to keep shooting?
Oh, yeah, probably a little bit.
I'll throw in a couple. Hey, I love shooting. I haven't shot in a long time. Especially the pistols.
I think it's going to walk a little bit more.
Yeah. Go ahead and load up a magazine.
Ha! Got it with the last one.
All right.
And there we go, folks. It's officially a Tack driver. It took 6 shots to get it and a couple of misfires along the way, but I finally got that thing. So I hope you enjoyed the video with my new Remington New Model Army revolver. Again, it's a Pietta reproduction. It's a lot of fun to shoot. This is my first time ever shooting one of these type of revolvers, and I've had a blast, literally. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those below. And until next time, as always, good shooting. Bye-bye.